In the stillness of late night, a few distant owl cries echoed faintly. M carefully closed the Ksitigarbha Sutra, placed it neatly on the cabinet, then stood up. A cold gust of wind made her shiver, goosebumps rising across her skin. M felt a chill run down her spine, turned her head to look behind, scanning every corner. Everyone else in the family was already asleep. Ever since moving into her husband's house, M had felt as if there was a ghost in the house. It felt like someone was always trailing silently behind her, appearing and disappearing faintly. LTNM, born in 1991, lives in TB District, HCM City. She runs a fairly stable online business. Recently, she developed a new habit, chanting sutras. For Buddhists, that is quite normal, and almost no one notices anything unusual. But M was different. As each day passed, the more she chanted, the clearer her eyes seemed to perceive that faint shadow in the house. Perhaps thanks to the spiritual power of the scriptures, her mind became clearer, temporarily giving rise to a bit of ability. Everything remained relatively undisturbed until one evening, while she was in her room, M suddenly felt a cold sensation behind her back. She turned around and, her face drained of all color, her limbs went weak. A female spirit stood there, her hair disheveled, her sharp fingernails extended, crying and grimacing. The most horrifying thing was those dagger-like nails continuously clawing at her own body. Wherever she scratched, blood gushed out, soaking her entire body red. Looking closely, it turned out she did not want this. She seemed to be resisting her own frenzied hands, but could not. Some invisible force was controlling each of her fingers, forcing her to tear chunks of flesh from her body until death. Then immediately she revived, her form restored as before, and the tearing continued. M stood frozen, her tongue stiff, unable to utter a single word until the female spirit disappeared. After that day, she told her husband and family, but no one believed her. Day after day, the female spirit continued to appear, replaying the scene of self-torment. Each time witnessing it, M's heart felt like it would leap out of her chest. Nothing in any horror film or novel could be more terrifying than what she was seeing, because it was real. Sometime later, M dreamed of her. Even after seeing her many times, the horrifying form of the female spirit was still enough to make her freeze in terror. "Please save me from this suffering." The spirit stood very close, yet her voice seemed to echo from somewhere far away. It was eerie. The female spirit stretched out her long arm, drenched in fresh blood, toward M, pleading. The sound stirred compassion in her. She wanted to help, but she did not know how. At noon on October 27, 2015, while chanting the Ksitigarbha Sutra, M's mind was still filled with the image of that miserable spirit. She thought to herself, if only I could meet her and ask clearly. What caused her to suffer to such an extent? Before she could think further, M suddenly fainted, her body collapsing onto the floor. She felt her consciousness entering another realm. The sky there was a dark crimson, filled with an eerie presence. The ground was gloomy, pitch black with no visible path. Only withered, blackened trees stood around, their branches dry, skeletal, without a single leaf. The air was oppressive. A putrid stench, like something long dead, filled the space. Throughout, there were continuous mournful, horrifying sounds, blending with the howling wind, making one want to flee immediately. But she could not. M realized her hand was tightly gripped by that female spirit, dragging her along. As the spirit pulled her, she wept, tears and blood streaming down, dripping onto M's hand. Summoning all her courage, M looked around and saw countless other spirits. They sat far apart, each continuing the same act of self-torment. Sharp nails like daggers, relentless scratching into flesh down to the bone, streams of blood pouring out with a nauseating smell. They died, revived, and continued the endless cycle of tearing. Hell, could this be hell? She was not sure, but if so, had she died? Suddenly she jolted when a blood-soaked hand of another spirit brushed against her. Panicked, she struggled to run. Ironically, the female spirit would not release her hand. Nam Mo Amitabha Buddha. Nam Mo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amitabha Buddha, ellipsis quote. Remembering the Buddha, M began to chant fervently, over and over. She chanted continuously, trying to overpower the fear surging within her. After a while, from the dark sky above, a gentle golden light shone down, slowly spreading. M widened her eyes in astonishment. A supremely beautiful form gradually appeared within the radiance. It was the Buddha. His form filled the sky like the rising sun at dawn, dispelling all the darkness that had enveloped the space. As his form turned more rapidly, the radiance shone ever more brilliantly. She could not take her eyes off the Buddha. She tried to look as closely, as long, and as clearly as possible. "The Buddha is so beautiful," M exclaimed. His face was full and radiant, emanating joy and serenity that brought a strange peace to those who beheld it. Even if one used all the words in the world combined with the talent of great writers, it would be impossible to fully describe that beauty. So all the statues and paintings of the Buddha I have ever seen cannot compare to even a fraction of what I am witnessing now. Yet that wondrous scene seemed invisible to all the other spirits. None of them looked up. From within M, some kind of energy radiated outward, causing the female spirit to become frightened and recoil. At that moment, M regained consciousness. Around her were white hospital beds with tangled tubes. Her family surrounded her. "She's awake. M is awake." The clock struck 3 in the morning. A doctor hurried in.
"You showed signs of sudden cardiac arrest, like clinical death. Fortunately, you've regained consciousness."
She remained silent, not knowing what to say. Feeling pain in her hand, she looked down and saw a bruise exactly where the spirit had gripped her. Even now, she vividly remembered the image of the Buddha. It was fortunate. Thanks to his spiritual power, she had escaped that terrifying realm. M was discharged from the hospital as her health had fully returned to normal. Her family still could not understand what had caused it. Before, when she said there was a spirit in the house, no one believed her and thought she was imagining things. But now, it was beyond explanation. In the following days, the female spirit still appeared. This time she seemed afraid, not daring to come close, but her gaze remained fixed on M. Though terrifying, M understood that she did not intend harm, she was simply seeking help. But how to help? M still did not know. Thinking deeply, M recalled that back in August, due to some difficulties in life, she had asked Court for advice. He was also the one who suggested she regularly chant the Ksitigarbha Sutra and repent karmic obstacles. She immediately sent him a message. After hearing the full story, Court instructed her to sincerely make a body vow, the aspiration to cultivate and become a Buddha, to liberate countless beings, continue chanting the Ksitigarbha Sutra, and dedicate the merit to help the female spirit attain liberation and end all suffering. After 10 days of consistent practice, late at night on November 7, 2015, M lay awake, unable to sleep. The moon was bright. As she gazed outside, the female spirit appeared. Today she looks so different. She no longer seems to be suffering. Her facial features are clearer than ever, her eyes shining. M thought. Suddenly, the spirit approached and held M's hand. For the first time, they communicated, not with spoken words, but mind to mind, each sentence echoing in her thoughts. "I am NNT," the spirit said. M immediately asked, "Why did you have to suffer like that?" "In my past life, I worked performing abortions for others. I often used machines, knives, scissors, clamps, sharp instruments to cut the fetus into pieces and remove it." M was stunned. The spirit continued, "And the hell you saw, that is the place where souls like me are confined, because in the past we used sharp objects to inflict pain and suffering on others. This is the karmic retribution. It is unbearable pain." NT called her name gently, which felt strange to M sensing her thoughts. NT explained, "In that past life, we were friends. Once, you told me that if I ever suffered, I should come to you. Because of that promise, I had the karmic connection to come to the human world, find you, and follow you to seek help. In hell, very few can come up here on their own." M asked curiously, "So how are you now?" "It's much better, thanks to your chanting and dedication of merit for me. Although I have not completely escaped hell, it is no longer as dark as before. I am less attached to this body, gradually letting go, and suffering much less. Hearing this, M felt relieved. NT looked at her earnestly. This time, I beg you to have compassion. Please invite many people to chant and pray so that I may soon leave hell and be reborn in a better realm. The time I have endured has been unbearably horrific. Without others dedicating merit to me, I do not know how many lifetimes it would take to escape. Please, I am deeply grateful to you. M nodded gently. NT continued. Because of you, the seeds of the Buddha have been planted in my consciousness. I hope that in future lives, I will have the right conditions to practice and attain enlightenment. The next morning, M went to find a Buddhist group and asked everyone to chant together for NT. The collective strength of many would surely be stronger and faster than one. As for M, she continued her regular chanting as before. 1 month later, M had a dream. She saw NT in another realm filled with beautiful flowers. Joyfully, NT told her that she was about to be reborn there, ending the chain of horrific torment. Upon waking, M felt an indescribable happiness. She looked out the window. Dawn was casting warm rays of sunlight onto the leaves. Looking up at the blue sky, M whispered her prayers, letting the wind carry them away into the vast emptiness.